Yo, what's up guys? It's been a fucking while since I've made any matchup guides, so I thought it was about time to make one. So we're gonna talk about Vladimir this time, and you should actually read the stuff that's on your screen before getting started into the video. The cooldown on his Q is actually really long in the early games, so you can use that to your advantage pretty easily. The thing is that level 1 you can just like all in him without any issue, but you have to wait for him to come close to a CS, like to last hit with like Q or auto attack. Because if you just go for the all in when it's too far, then that means you will have to spend all of your Qs to close the gap. So you won't have any Q to DPS, so you will just have to auto attack, and that's not the kind of trade you want. So you have to wait for him to come close to a CS, or you can cheese him just like I did in the clip. There's something really important to know in this matchup. It's the fact that you have to disengage whenever his third Q is about to come up. So when the yellow bar is about to be full, you have to run away because he's gonna get some extra move speed, and if it hits the Q on you, he's gonna heal a lot, even if you shield the damage. So whenever you see the bar being almost full, you have to back off and wait for him to waste the Q on a minion. In that matchup, you need to be like super aggressive in the early game, but the thing is that you have to calculate the distance between you and Vladimir, because if you waste your cooldown to reach him, then it's gonna be a bad trade for you. You actually have to use your dash properly. Like in this clip, I get my level 2 and I wait for him to be close enough before using my E to engage, because before I go in, I know that if I use my E, I won't be able to be in range to go for a full trade, so I wait for him to miss position, to be in range to auto-attack him after my E, then go for a fast Q combo. So before we continue the matchup, you have to know something really important, is that the matchup will depend on the Vlad player. So if he knows how to play safe, it's gonna be hard to actually kill him, because he's gonna take enough distance for you not to reach him pretty easily and go for the trade. And sometimes it will also depend on the enemy jungler, because you won't be able to pressure as much against a jungler that knows how to gank, especially if he plays a champ that can set up ganks pretty easily. So you will have to be careful about it. So if the Vlad plays safe, you're most likely gonna have to freeze the lane and try to bring pressure on him whenever he comes up to last hit or something. And if you freeze the lane under your tower or close to your tower, you will have to expect maybe lane gank, so be careful about lane bushes. So if I mentioned that, it's mostly because of the following clip. What happens in the next clip should not happen often. The Vladimir really fucked up and I managed to burn his flash level 2. But at this elo, most of the time they know better how to play safe, even if you still can stomp them. But I think this kind of mistake might happen often if you are playing between iron and gold, or even plat, I think. So you can use that clip as an example, but you have to keep in mind that this is a really huge mistake from Vlad, and I don't think it happens that often. So we know that Vlad doesn't have flash anymore, and we also know that he doesn't have the pull because he took the E level 2. So I get my level 3 as soon as possible, and as soon as I get my level up, I just flash double cast on him and I kill him. Because there is just no way he can survive that, as he doesn't have flash or pull. One of the most important things to do in this matchup is to get a lot of CDR. So whenever you get like 20% CDR, you can go for an all-in whenever he comes close to you. And that may eventually force him to use the pull, which means you're gonna be able to go for a trade right after and maybe kill him. Because you have to keep in mind that the pull has 28 seconds of cooldown, level 1, so that's really fucking huge, and you have to use it at your advantage. So as you can see in this clip, I just forced his pull, so now I'm just gonna push the wave super fast and dive him before the pulls come back. And I'm going for the dive because I know there's no way for him to survive, because his flash is still down as well. So without pull, without flash and without ultimate, there's just no way this guy survives from a dive with my ult. So once you get a lead in the matchup, it becomes pretty easy. But the thing is that you have to keep on freezing the lane and deny the guy as much as possible. Because if you push the wave, at some point it becomes pretty hard to tower dive with Vladimir. So you want to freeze the lane and keep on abusing and denying the guy. So in this clip I just flash stun on him because I know that I have the damage to kill him, because I'm way too far ahead of him. But if I use my stun first, it's because I want to keep my Qs in case he flashes away. And I also use my third Q and my wind slash after the pull, because I held it back I had to wait for him to pull before using anything. But I kind of fucked up in that clip. Even though I killed him, I should have used my Wind Slash instead of the third Q, cause I almost missed him with my ultimate, and if I used the Wind Slash instantly after the pull, then it would have been less close to kill him. So yeah, that's most likely the basics of the matchup. But as I said earlier, like if the Vladimir plays super safe, it's gonna be hard to actually stomp him, but you have to manage the wave, freeze the lane, and maybe you will have to roam a lot if your team actually loses on the other side. But yeah, I think this video helps to know the basics of the matchup to understand it better. So this is the build I recommend. You don't have to follow it if you don't like it, but I think this is one of the most common builds to go for. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I'm gonna see you in another one. See ya guys, thanks for watching.
Tried to stay sober, tried to stay clean. Let me when it's over, like a bad dream. Mama doesn't call, sister never writes. Bet you they would laugh if I
Our blades rise as one.